Adam, Bo. Now that I'm out in the country, I am dying to go fishing. It's true.
Is that what lured you to the country?
Oh, God. Yes.
Was that the hook?
No. Oh. Well, no. But I do enjoy going fishing sometimes. And I am really looking forward to it. But not the kind of fishing that has been hitting my mailbox lately.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your mailbox experience?
But wait a second. Did you say scale as in like fish scale? Did you just do that?
I just did that.
Okay. Well,
Wait with bated breath.
Oh.
You're so gillable sometimes.
Okay, now it's getting bad because bated breath is with no I and gillable was spelled wrong. But here's the deal. I've been getting...
I'm Finn-ish now.
You're not Finnish, you're Jewish. And and me too. And I have to say that just to check in, I am getting fished a lot and it's my fault.
What did you do, Bo?
I called up one of my fishing guys.
And
I taunted him.
Taunted? How so?
Yeah, I kind of let him think that maybe I was going to give him money when I wasn't.
Oh, the old Seinfeld routine, eh?
Yeah, anyway.
Hi there. I'm Adam Levin, former director of the New Jersey Division of Consumer Affairs, founder of CyberScout, author of the book Swiped, How to Protect Yourself in a World Filled with Scammers, Fishers, and Identity Thieves.
And I'm Bo Friedlander. I live in the woods, and sometimes I feel like I'm in the woods when it comes to things cyber.
I'm Travis Taylor, resident tech guy.
So I understand that we're talking catfishing today.
We are, and it's a big problem, a very big problem, and it hits an awful lot of people all over the world.
True story, yeah.
And sometimes people fall for very, very big catfishing scams. There was a story actually of a woman a couple of years ago who gave $2 million
No.
to a catfisher. And when it was finally brought to her attention, because she kept taking money out of her brokerage accounts and her money manager started to notice it and contacted her family and said, I'm worried about this. They investigated, they found out what it was, they presented it to her, and she still said, okay, I hear what you're saying and I understand it, but in my heart, I still think he loves me.
Gosh. Wait, and you said $2 million?
$2 million. So we're welcoming to the show Mary, and Mary is a friend of our producer, Tina, and she has now immediately become our friend, Adam, Bo, and Travis. And
She's already my very best friend. I don't know if she's your friend.
A former radio personality. Sounds like she still is a radio personality. Well, certainly she's got a huge personality. It's filling up the studio. But before we get to Mary's story, there's something about Mary that we should talk about.
Someone had to say that.
So Mary, you live in Seattle, right?
Yes, sir.
And what do you do now that you're not radioing it?
Well, now that I'm not radioing, and hardly anyone is anymore, when radio ended, I thought, it's time to cook, because I've always loved to cook. But at the same time, I had some physical problems. So anyway, long story short, I started learning how to cook with cannabis. So now I'm a cannabis chef. I've written 2 cookbooks. I have classes every week. And I teach people, it's not just about getting high, though that's a glorious side effect. But really, a lot of people need to know how to get off their pills and how to get better and how to feel better and how to not be assholes. And cannabis is awesome for that. So that's what I do. I teach people.
So weed can make you be not an asshole.
Yes. Because look at me, Bo. I used to be so cranky and mean, and now I'm just chill.
So it's like the advertising slogan should be, wanna not be an asshole?
There you go, yeah.
Get high on weed.
It would work.
No. Yeah, never mind. But yeah, cannabis is, it's really fun to teach people not only, how to cook, but how to make themselves better. Whether that's physical or, spiritually or however that works for them. Because it really helped me a lot. got over my pain, don't take any pills anymore of any kind. So it's been really cool. The challenge, of course, is with a lot of cannabis businesses, you can't really advertise like you would like to. There's a lot of restrictions, but I figure I'm doing the Lord's work, and it's important. So that's what's happening.
Well, listen, you can't get higher than the Lord, so therefore, I understand you're bringing yourself closer to God. I think that's a great
right, baby. Real close.
Now, you have a pretty fascinating story, and it's not uncommon. We don't hear about it a lot because the truth is, many people who are victimized in situations like this don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And it's so important that people do talk about it because it's very important for everyone to understand how dangerous it can be out there in terms of certain relationships. And that's why we're excited you could join us on the show. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened?
Well, I have been single now for a beautiful, glorious, just lovely 3 years. And of course, a year and a half of that has been pandemic. So that's been a little tough. But I've been dating anyway because, I made people get tests. But what happened, and this has happened a couple of times to me, because like I said, 3 years, right? So long story short, I'm on, what was it? I think it was Bumble but I've been on a couple of sites, and these types of situations happen to everyone everywhere. And the setup is so classic. It's set up to just get you, right? Because, us ladies, we got the emotions. So I'm, checking out OkCupid. And then I looked at this guy, and look, he's an attractive gentleman, so I read the info. And, look, he's a retired doctor. Oh, okay, that's nice. Oh, he's a widower. Oh, right. So right there, you get a little hook in your heart, because, a widower. And then, adult children, looking for the next stage in life. I mean, just really well written. And, of course, I go check him up on LinkedIn. And, he's got this beautiful profile, right? I mean, everything. He was the head of cardiology at Boston, Mass, and da-da-da-da-da. And then the background story, because there's always a background story, right? The background is he was born in Dubai, but his parents moved to Massachusetts when they were 5. I mean, this whole story. So you're like, believe in it. And I'm like, well, he's on LinkedIn, da-da-da. So we communicated for about a week. And interestingly enough, he's very courtly, right? Kind of almost old-fashioned. So I'm like, I better not say. Okay, so I'm being cool. I'm being careful, right? But then after about a week of every morning, good morning, beautiful. How was your day so far, right? And then at night, I'm just checking in on you, my darling. Chicks love that, right? So, and he sent me another picture, him and his dog. Oh, that's the other one. When they have a cute dog, be very careful. So all these little things are starting to, my little heart, right? But then, I've got to go to Dubai. I'm setting up a free clinic. I'm like, wow, good work, doc. Yeah. So I'll talk to you in a couple days. So I get a call from Dubai because the number was like from there. So I answer, and it's him, but he has a very strange voice. He sounds really young and kind of urban, I'm like, well, that's odd. And we didn't talk very long because it was a bad connection. So then, it was so lovely to talk to you, my darling Mary. And, but I'm having some problems here in Dubai. This is where it gets tricky, you guys. Okay, this is when you got to really get your antenna up. Because, it's turning out that customs is holding on to the MRI machine and the X-ray machine, and they need $15,000 to get them.
Big ticket
Oh,
items.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this guy isn't messing around. And they need $15,000 to get it out of customs. I'm like, well, gee, that's too bad. Sorry to hear it. He goes, well, is there any way you could help us out? What? You're a doctor, and you have enough money to open up a free clinic, but you can't get your stuff out of customs? Oh, so red flag, right? Red flag. I've been doing this long enough. I know, red flag. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to see how this plays out. So I told him, oh, gee, I wish I could help, but, I just don't have the money. And I'm not going to give you $15,000. I don't even know you, right? But I didn't say that. Just like, sorry, can't help. We continue every morning, every evening. These messages are just lovely. About another week, he's like, oh, things are still stuck in customs. If you can even help us with $5,000, because I'm really worried about the equipments. I went, wait a minute, equipments? So now his vernacular had changed. It was different. So I'm like, okay, now this is bull. Now he just wants money. I'm going to see how far this goes. But the other part of me, the love-starved part, is going, oh, man, this guy's fake. This guy is a fake hole, and he's trying to steal my money. So
I got a question. Question before you keep going. So you were thinking at this point that he was for real, or you still wanted him to maybe be for real? Or you were quite certain he was not for real?
Well, that's a good question. I think after the first request for money, I was like, oh, crap, he's not real. But he still might be. Maybe there's some weird situation.
So you're in maybe
that was a maybe
with him right now.
Yeah, but the second request for money, that was no. This is wrong.
All right, so now you're in no land now.
Yeah.
Nolandia.
Yes.
Nolandia. Okay, where we say no and we just say no and then we scowl.
Yeah.
So in Nolandia.
Mm-hmm.
I actually am from Nolandia, Bo from Nolandia, and I take great joy when I come upon someone I want to say a hearty no to, in stringing them along if I know they're a scammer.
Yes.
So it sounds like you might have done that. What did you do? What did you do to this guy?
Well, Bo, what I did was, oh gosh, I'm so sorry, So another couple of days, and he's doing the romantic morning greeting, the romantic evening greeting, but I could tell things were getting shorter. Right? So finally, after about another week, because it was almost 3.5 weeks of this crap, finally he goes, oh, okay, things are okay. We got the equipments, but my assistant doesn't have a passport. How did he get there in the first place? My assistant needs help buying his return plane ticket home. What? So if you could send $3,000, that would really help. And that's when I went, this is bull. You're full of crap. Leave me alone. Lose my number. And I immediately, at that point, went on to, it was Bumble, to, say, hey, look, ladies, this guy's full of and he had taken his profile down already. So then I went immediately over to LinkedIn, to report him. He was gone. So this is obviously, it felt like to me, 2 or 3 guys, and obviously younger, and this is their deal. But I'll tell you, I put this on Facebook because, I broadcast, and several women got in touch. This apparently, the widower is a big deal, and them working away, like on an oil rig or a different country, that's a big deal. So
that's a big sign right there,
Yeah. But ladies, I mean, honestly, because I'm, an older gal, and you get lonely as well as horny, but mostly, you kind of want somebody around, and you want to, roll around naked, and you want to be appreciated. And here's this, ostensibly doctor, educated, da-da-da-da-da.
A doctor, I mean, he'll know exactly how to roll around, potentially.
Exactly. They know where all the buttons are,
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, I get it.
And then if your back hurts after rolling around, maybe they can help you.
It's one-stop shopping, but you don't need that because you have cannabis.
Indeed,
cookies,
I'm always chill.
Okay.
Oh, I love the blushing guy. He's so cute, Travis. Are you a virgin, Travis? Come on, buddy.
No, but I'm very prudish.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Stick around, baby. It's okay.
All right.
Mary.
Travis is a cyber doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, a
He's a
cyber doctor.
Yeah. One of the things that that happens with these catfishers is that they'll set up multiple accounts, And when they have a live wire, they dedicate that account to the live wire. And when it goes south, they delete it. So when you report them, you're the only person they were working on that account.
Oh.
Now, there's tons of accounts, and the stories may be very similar. They may be using the exact same story,
Right.
but the images and the profile will be different. So he may literally be waking up in the morning and typing, "Good morning, my darling," to "Good morning, my darling. Good morning, my darling. Good morning, my darling," to like 7 people. "Good morning, my darling." And then, his partner's like, "Did you just type equipments? Did you do that?"
No, you did
He's
equipments.
Like, "Oh." So
He might be saying to someone, "Hello, my precious pussycat."
Oh, yeah. Who knows,
Indeed.
man?
So that's part of what you ran into,
Yeah.
right? But it's the lure of saying just all the right things.
Yes.
And can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
Was this an attractive doctor?
That's the thing. Of course. Yeah, I don't go for no ugly doctors, But the picture, he's nice gray beard, bald,
Yeah.
very attractive. And then what these guys did? They're smart. They sent pictures from Dubai. And because the picture guy had a mask on, he had a bald head and a gray beard and a mask. So it looked like the same guy. And they sent pictures from, here I am at the market. Here's that weird wall with the divers coming down the side. I mean, 3-4 pictures from Dubai with this guy who looked like the guy. He wasn't the guy. There was no guy.
It was Adam.
Yeah, it was
Adam.
Actually, it was
I've told you to stop doing this to people, and you keep doing it.
Damn it,
It was
Adam.
actually the now former president of Afghanistan. But,
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
No, but these are the teachable moments here for everyone.
Yep.
And one of the first things is that these folks come out of nowhere and then they build a profile and then they come on really strong. After like 1 or 2 communications, it's like, "I want to marry you," or "I want to have your baby," or the list goes on of what they want to do.
Yeah.
There's always drama involved.
Yes. Yeah. There's something in the way, right?
And there's always a situation where they would love to communicate with you, but they can't really do it because there's a problem with their phone or their internet is an issue or something. There's
that's right.
always there's always a reason why, and then they lure you in, and then that's when they throw the bait in front of you, and then say, "So this is what I need."
Yeah.
And it could be something as little as a plane ticket, all the way up to. I did a show many years ago with 2 women who were home health care providers.
Okay.
And it was a TV show, and they were in their 50s, and each one of them was successfully catfished by a different person to the tune of over $60,000.
They actually forked money over?
They forked over $60,000 each.
Oh my God! And they're home health ladies.
They were home health care providers, home nursing. And of course, at this particular moment in our history, there's a lot of people that are involved in home health care.
Yeah.
And especially with the concerns over COVID and the fact that people would like to stay out of nursing homes and rather be helped at home. So there are people on the prowl for all kinds of people, and they're definitely looking for people who are more amenable to the heartfelt pitch.
Yep. And I hate to admit it, but a lot of us, divorced, single, whatever ladies of a certain age, I'm going to say over 50, you think you know what you want, and you assume that everyone else is like you are, kind of, nice to people, and I don't lie, I'm not going to try and steal. You kind of figure everybody's like that, and everybody wants to help. I know one of the women that replied to that Facebook post of mine, her mom is still sending money to a guy on an oil rig. What? Yeah. And she can't get her mom to stop. So what you guys are doing, this program, hopefully will really help, because there are lonely ladies out there who are just certain that, George is going to come off the oil rig and make him happy. And
well, if George is making her happy by letting her send money, and it's not putting her in the poorhouse, part of me just says, go ahead. But I mean,
yeah.
But the thing, I actually have a follow-up question to something Adam said, which is true of these particular scams. Did the gentleman, your paramour, did he move quickly, or was it a very slow courtship? Because it sounded like it wasn't so fast. It just sounded like he shifted quickly to a familiar sort of intimacy.
Yeah, it was courting for about a week.
Okay.
And then he went to Dubai.
Okay.
And as he was in Dubai, it was very courting. But I think the whole thing was really about, from beginning to end, about 3.5 weeks. And it would have been shorter if I'd called him on his bullshit sooner.
Did you ever get to the point of sexting with this individual, or was it always very gentlemanly?
Yeah, it was real, which is weird because, I'm a big fan of the dirty GIF.
I figured, like, I was wondering, like, what were you still doing there? I thought, like, why were you there, Mary?
Know.
But it's
Seems
also
not your kind of guy.
Yeah.
It's also surprising. It's surprising that he actually called you.
Yeah.
Because generally they don't do that.
Yeah.
That's right.
They don't want to out themselves early as being, let's say, far younger than you think they are.
Yeah.
Or they don't speak as eloquently as you think they might, especially if they're a sort of world-renowned doctor out of, Mass General.
Yeah. And when he called, that was my first thing. And he called twice until I said, the connections are too bad. Don't call me. But he didn't sound like an older doctor from Massachusetts,
It may be that he felt you were kind of starting to slip away, so he had to do something
maybe
dramatic to kind of lure you back in.
Yeah.
Did he ask if he could buy your book?
No.
What a jerk.
What a hole.
What was he thinking?
I'm curious. What is? I would like to look at your book.
Oh,
what is your book?
2 of them. First book is Everyday Mary J, because my name is Mary J. White in real life, and Mary J, also known as cannabis. So that was my first book. And that's on my website, maryjwhite.com. The second one is the CBD cookbook for beginners, and that's on Amazon. And the one I'm working on is Effortless Edibles, but I'm still working on that. So, yeah.
All right. Can I ask you a question? Oh, sorry, Adam.
Your next book should also be How to Avoid a Catfisher.
With weed.
With weed. Because you got a good story here.
Well, yeah. Actually, a compilation of those stories would be awesome if they could have good either solutions or revenge addendums. You guys should do that.
Oh, the revenge
it's not
addendum.
a bad idea.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. But, the people that try to catfish me, they always are just wearing a bikini and they say, hey, as if that's like all I need. Like, oh, bikini and hey.
Because I'm a guy and I can't control myself. Oh, got a boner.
I mean, it's pretty,
Well,
like,
with
come on,
both,
try
they're wearing a
harder.
bikini, but they have very long beards and they're bald.
Oh,
Other
God,
than that,
Oh, that's just not true or nice.
Whatever you're into, Bo, is fine. Really.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, it wasn't the beard I objected to. It was just, I don't know, the assumption.
Yeah,
it wasn't the consenting small animals, so that was important.
That's
anyway.
a problem.
Wow.
But no, I get what you're saying, though, that, the assumption that just because you're male, the mere sight of female pulchritude is going to make you lose your mind and send them money. Come on.
Indeed. Come on,
Come
give
on.
me a break.
You're smarter than that.
You got to at least bat your eyes or something.
Boy, it sure cost me a fortune in the old days. But anyway,
Travis?
I was about to say a big factor here is with dating sites that they have really bad security. In the case of Bumble, they exposed 100 million of their users that was just left completely unprotected online.
Oh, crap.
So what that
That's
means
true.
is if you're looking to catfish someone, you can actually just go find all that data and then look for the likeliest targets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
I guess they
then.
kind of bumbled that one, huh?
Yeah.
Boy,
Oh, Adam.
But Mary, let me ask you, from your experience now,
Yes.
right? What is the if you sat down with a friend of yours and your friend was saying, you know, I've gone on social media and I really like this guy, he's pretty awesome. Based on what you've been through now, what would you tell him?
If you really like him, first of all, the minute he asks for money, I'm just going to say walk. If you have not met him in person, you don't know this guy, walk the away. If you still really like him, you're being a dumb. But if you really still like him, forget it. Spend $19.99 and go on one of those, background check things. I actually did that with a man I was dating right when I first, got separated. And oh, Lord Jesus, there were felonies and bad things on there. So that can be helpful if you like him enough to spend $20. But honestly, I have found, and no offense, because all y'all are boys, men, males, but men are a renewable resource, ladies. And if this one is in any remote way not making your panties soggy, walk away. Get a new one, because there's about 4 billion of them out there.
And Bo and I are wasting resources. So, I mean, hey, Travis is the young guy, but the rest of us...
Speak for yourself. I don't know,
No,
man.
Bo's got it going on, baby.
Hey, I resemble your comment about being a dime a dozen, but I am not wasting.
I've been off the market since 1999, so...
Wow.
So, Travis, I have a question for you.
Sure.
I am guessing in your voluminous brain pan, you have some knowledge as to why catfishing is called catfishing.
Oh.
Yeah, it's funny because I think a lot of people assume it's some sort of weird older thing like a Louisiana bayou-based scam or something like that. But the term catfishing didn't actually come about until 2010 with a documentary called Catfish. It got more popular because there's a TV show on MTV in 2012 called Catfishing. But it's a recent term.
Huh.
And it's all about that, and that is what it's always about, is tricking people into love.
We also have to talk about the other side of the coin, and that is that there was a scam that was uncovered a couple of years ago where a mother-daughter team operating out of Colorado was catfishing all sorts of women masquerading as if they were lonely soldiers deployed in Iraq and Afghanistan.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah, so...
Well, and wouldn't you say the same thing for men then? Because you guys get catfish probably more than we do. And I think if people are honest, just be either a sugar daddy or a sugar baby. Just be honest. But...
Yeah.
You mean Margot Robbie really didn't want to go out with me?
No, sweetie.
I'm shocked.
No, she didn't. She was busy.
Mary, she was
Yes, sir.
busy, but I'm too. I mean, Adam was right about me. I'm actually just too tired to get catfish these days. Like, ugh. And also, I'm quite happy with my partner. That's the other part of it.
See,
but
and that's the main thing. Yeah.
But I mean, even if I weren't, I can't imagine. Like, it seems like a lot of energy to get. I
know.
That's.
I know, doesn't it? I mean,
It does.
Why don't you put that much
But I've
energy?
been dating, and I know that's part of dating. It's just a huge expenditure of energy.
Yeah.
There have been gold diggers for years, men and women who are out there
Exactly.
doing so. Just think of these as digital gold diggers.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
And don't give
Fair
them your
enough.
money.
No.
No.
Don't do it.
Whenever and don't, and also, by the way, like, I think people should be in these platforms where there's so much dating happening. Maybe it's time for everyone just to go Dutch, so that there's no question about this sort of thing. But anyway, I am looking forward to looking at your books because I don't partake in weed, but I'm very curious about your stuff. And CBD, I do believe really does work.
Get the CBD cookbook. It's really good. If I do say so myself.
Check it out.
Yeah.
So that is CBD for beginners, correct?
The CBD cookbook. The CBD cookbook for beginners.
Excellent.
On Amazon.
All right.
And I'm really excited because we now have a new business concept which is basically digital Dutch dating.
Yes.
Oh.
We're not quite sure how we're going to implement it, but you get on it. It's going to be
Although
awesome.
Bo's partner is Dutch.
Oh, well, it's perfect then.
Yeah, but we do go Dutch, but I don't know. We'll have to think
guys.
of something here. Maybe the clogs, the wooden clog.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
Anyway, Mary, this was awesome. I mean, really
Oh, thank
awesome.
you.
And we truly appreciate you sharing your story. You know, again, the important thing with catfishing victimization, which is what it is, but looks like you actually became the victor on this one.
Yeah.
Is that so many people don't want to talk about it. And they, I had a case once involving a company that I used to own where we had a nice lady who was willing to go on and talk about it, and then her daughters convinced her not to do it because they felt that it would be too embarrassing for her to talk about. So it's very important to talk about this. It's
Yeah.
very important for people to understand that this happens a lot.
A lot.
And that the victors are the people who are willing to say, I made a mistake, or I didn't fall for it.
Yep.
And here's why you shouldn't fall for it. And here's what you should be doing in order to make sure that you don't fall for it.
Exactly.
Right.
Good job, you guys. Well, I just hope people listen and it can help, because it breaks my heart to think that ladies are giving away money to men who aren't real, you know?
And vice versa.
And vice versa. Absolutely. Yes.
Thank you, Mary. Mary, it was really a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
You showed me that we can use tons and tons of swear words on this podcast and still have fun.
Oh, good. I live to serve, man. That's what I do.
There you go.
All right.